Hi, welcome back to your IT class. So today we are going to start session 3 in database. Okay, we already have seen in the last two classes what is a database and how we can create a database in under tables in OpenOffice, isn't it? So database is a collection of different tables, and we already see how to create a table in database. So here we are going to see how to perform the different operations on a table. So in a database, you can define the structure of the data and manipulate the data using some commands. So in the previous chapter, we have seen that there are SQL. There is a language which is used to extract the data from a table. Actually, why we are creating a database for our easy task. That means if we are saving our data in a database, later we can just retrieve certain kind of data from the table. That means if we have a table like student, and in the table we have admission number, the student name, student address, student phone number, all the details are stored in the table. And in a particular time, we have to extract those students name whose admission number is this. Okay, some admission number or a particular admission number, students details we want to see. So in that situation, what we have to do, we have to give certain queries. So that is why we are creating a language. We already have a language which is called SQL, structured query language, that is used to extract a particular data from a database. That's why for the easy abstraction of data, we are creating the database and we are using the SQL. So actually you need not worry about the SQL language, because we can create the same SQL queries by giving certain inputs, by selecting certain buttons in the database window. So there is no need to worry about how to create the language or how to learn the language. Language means always a command, a set of commands which we have to type and give. Okay, so in higher classes you will learn how to give these queries, that means this particular language. So here we can see that there are two types of languages for this task. For what task? To retrieve the data and manipulate the data. So they are data definition language and data manipulation language. So DDL and DML. Just remember these two names. Okay, what are the different types of languages for extracting data or defining structure of the data? DDL and DML. And what is DML? DML means a data manipulation language. It is that enables the users to access and manipulate data in a database. So DDL means the language which we use to create the database and the tables. Okay, and after creating the database and the tables, we can abstract or extract the data from the tables. Okay, so for that we use the DML command. So the data manipulation language is a language that enables the users to access and manipulate data in a database. We can add data, that is insert data, then extract data, or means we can see data, whatever we want to do, modify data, whatever we want to do in the table, which we can do using these DML commands. And the goal is to provide efficient human interaction with the system. So the data manipulation language involves what are the different types of activities they can do, these DML commands can do. The first one is select statement, that is retrieval of information from the database. That means if you have created a table or a database, we can just retrieve the information from the database based on a particular condition. That's what I said earlier. So if we want to extract the details of a particular student based on the admission number, you can just use this command, select command, using where clause. Okay, so insertion of new information into the database. That means if you want to insert new information, that means new data into the table, we can use the insert command. And deletion of information in the database using delete command. Then modification of information, if we want to change a student's admission number or student's name, only a particular field, we can use the update command. So you have to just remember these 4 statements. Okay, so the DML involves select statement, insert statement, delete statement, and update statement. Sometimes you may get a question like how which statement we can use to retrieve the information from the database. So you have to write select statement. That's all. So a query language, what is a query language? It's a part of DML involving information retrieval only. So that means a query is using to retrieve the information from the table. The terms DML and the query language are often used synonymously. So that means if you are using SQL means structured query language, which is used to retrieve data from a table. So DML also is used to retrieve the data from the table. So both are used synonymously certain times. Then a popular data manipulation language is structured query language. This is used, why we use this SQL queries? This is used to retrieve and manipulate data in a relational database. That means we use to retrieve as well as to manipulate. Manipulate means change, edit the data in the relational database or the table. That's all. So the other things you need not learn. So there are 2 types of DML command. There are 2 types of DML. So you just remember the name, that's all. Okay, procedural and non-procedural. So nothing else we are going to learn in this. So there are 2 types of DML commands, procedural and non-procedural. Okay, so there are 2 types of SQL commands which are DDL and DML. Okay, that's all. Then here we come to see how to insert the data into a table using the query, but we are not going to do this here. Understand, we are not going to insert the data into the table using this SQL command, that is DML command. Insert into is a DML command. Okay, so insert statement is used to add one or more records to a database. Okay, we can add data into the table, but we actually insert the data using the design view. Okay, that's what we did in the last class. The general syntax of the insert statement, you can just skip all these insert statements. Okay, but after inserting the data into the table, you select query to view the updated table. After execution, you should see a window similar to the one displayed below. Okay, so for example, if we have a table, I already created 3 tables in the database SDetails. Okay, so in this database I have 3 tables, and out of these 3 tables, this department and employee are interrelated. That I will show you. So department means here we have department ID, department name and location. Okay, and in employee table we have employee ID, employee name, designation and department ID, and which is a common column. This department ID is common for both employee and the department, isn't it? This is a common column. That's why I told you that I said that these are related tables, interrelated tables based on a particular common column. Okay, but in SDetails we don't have such a field, a common column. That's why it is an independent table in the same database. In a database we can have any number of tables, and these tables can be related or not related. But here department and employee are related because in these 2 tables we have a common column. Clear? That's all. Now create table in a design view. This is a create table in a design view. If you want to create a new table, you can create field name and field type. We already have 3 tables, so I am not going to create it. Okay, so if you want to see this department details, what are the contents in the department table, you can create a query. So query 1, we already have a query 1. When you double click it, that is select command. That is actually I have given a select command in the query. Queries means, as I told you earlier, we have learned it, the query language. Using the structured query language we can create it. Edit in SQL view means you will get a query like this. Select star from SDetails. If I want to display select star from EMP, so you want to give EMP here. That means EMP, employee details. Select star from employee means it's a select command, DML command to display the table. So I'm saving the data, I'm saving that SQL query, and when I double click it, what happens? That employee table details, that table will display. Are you clear? That's how we can use the query, these queries, to view a particular content in the table. Query 1 is select star from employee, and let us see what is the query 2. So query 2 is edit in design, query view, select email from S details. So in a S detail is also a table in which we have a field, a column, email. So if I give a query like select email from S details, what will happen? So you have to double click it. If you want to see or edit, you can open in edit in SQL view. Or if you simply give an edit option, that is the design view. Are you clear? This is the design view. Here you simply need to pick up some details and just give the selection that I will show you now. Okay, so query 2 is to just display email. So just double click it. That email will be displayed. That a particular column, a single column will be displayed based on the select command. That is what queries. I am not going to show you how to create the query. So if you want to create a query, create query in design view or create query in SQL view. SQL view means like this. There you have to type something. For example, select star. You need not learn this, but I am just showing you. Select a star from DEPT. We have a table like this. Okay, so and you have to save it. So automatically it will be saving as query 6. I am not renaming it. And when I double click on this query 6, that will show the department. We have only one row of information. That's all. This is how we can create a query. But in another way, we can create the queries. We can create the queries in a different way also, in design view. Okay, that's what I'm going to show you. So how can you create query in design view? For example, which table you want to use for extracting the data. Okay, I want employee table, and I'm adding this table to this query. Okay, this particular window, particular task, and I want to close it. Now in this window we have employee ID, employee name, designation, department ID, isn't it? All these we have here. And if I want to display the employee details of the employee whose department ID is 10. Are you clear? Whose department ID is 10. So how can I do that? So here in these fields you have to give the columns which you want to display. So that you can do in two ways. So either by double clicking that, it will automatically come here. So that means employee ID will be displaying from table employee. And in the second column, we need employee name. Okay, we need employee ID, employee name. And we need department ID also, whose criteria, whose department number. Criteria means you can give here the criteria which you want to extract, where department ID is 10. Let us see, is there any employee in department ID in table employee? Clear? Now what we have to do, save this. So that will be saved as query 7. Do you get that? This will be the easiest way to create a query, that is in design view. Understand? So you need not learn to type that query in the query window. Instead of that, you can use this window. Clear? Okay. So we have the query 7 over here, that is create query in design view. Remember. Then when you double click this, we will get the employees in department 10. Do you get what I did? So that is what I want. Who are the employees in department 10? Department ID 10. John and Mayan. Okay, so this is the way, and we displayed not all the columns. We displayed employee ID, employee name, and department ID. That's all. Is it clear? So this is the way how we can give the queries in design view. That's enough for you. You need not study how to create the query in SQL view. You need not learn it. That's enough. This is enough. Okay, we have all 7 queries. So all these queries are different, and based on that you have to give the queries. Now let us see the next topic. Okay, so this is the way how we can get it. See, after execution you should see this is select a star from S details. Now next comes the delete statement. As I told, you can delete a row from the table simply by right clicking and clicking on delete option. So here they have given another query, delete from table name where condition. That's all. So delete statement is used to remove one or more records in a database. So you just please understand, delete statement is used to remove one or more records. Okay, so to delete one of the records in the table created earlier using delete statement, type the following command: delete from sdetails where id is equal to 8. Okay, if you type this one in the query window, you will get deleted. Okay, this id 8 record will be get deleted. Then execute. Otherwise, how you can delete that? Is very easy to delete a item from a table. So if you want to delete, we have only 2 columns, rows, and if you want to delete it, just click here, right click, delete rows. When you click on delete rows, it will get deleted. That's all. Simply click here, right click, and just give the option delete rows. That's enough if you want to delete any row from the table. Otherwise, we have to go for the same command, like create a query. Okay, query in query SQL query view, and you have to give the query which is given here. And actually we don't have a id 8, we have 1 and 2. So similarly, so you can just copy and paste this command over here. Let us see how it works. Control C. If you want to see, I will show you. Queries, query in the SQL view, Control V, id is equal to 8. There is no id 8, so I'm going to give 1 or 2. Okay, let us delete the second one, 2. Okay, so save it. The given command is not a select statement, delete from sdetails. We cannot do it like this. Delete from sdetails where id is equal to 2. Only queries are allowed. Okay, so we can do in the other way. Okay, you need not do like that. You just go to the table, then open sdetails, then here right click, then delete rows. When you delete rows, do you want to delete the selected data? Yes means it will be get deleted from that, then you will not able to retrieve it. So if I give it, that will be deleted. That's all. Okay, that's it. Now next topic. So sorting data. Sorting means, what is sorting? To arrange the data in a particular order, in ascending or descending order, isn't it? That's the meaning of sorting. So sorting means to arrange the data in either ascending order or the descending order. Select the columns. How can you arrange it in an ascending or descending order? You just open any of the table. Okay, double click it, and this is not this is in ascending order. Okay, so if you want to order the designation, so clerk should come in the beginning, isn't it? And if you click on this sort ascending, there is an option sort ascending. So which one will come first? Clerk. So clerk, manager, and trainee. And again, if you click on the designation, that column will be selected, and in the descending order, if you click here, trainee will come first, and according to that, the name and the number, everything will be changed. Okay, that particular trainee, Ria's number, employee ID and department ID will be the same always, but this designation will be in the ascending or descending order. If you want to again arrange this in the ascending order of their employee name, click on this one, John, Mayan, and Ria. That's all. Is that clear? There is nothing special. Then next comes the referential integrity. What is referential integrity? Referential integrity. Okay, so that is used to maintain the accuracy of the tables of the database. Okay, so for example, if we have 2 tables, we already have these 2 tables which are related each other, department and employee, isn't it? So they two are related database. Relational means there is an integrity between these 2 tables. Is that clear? How can you say that? In employee table, we have department ID 10, 10 and 20. Okay, and we can just minimize and I show you that way. Okay, keep it aside. and we can open department also. So here also we have department ID 10. So in both the table we have department ID 10, isn't it? So what we can imagine, those who are in department ID 10, okay, have the department name HR. Okay, department ID is, the department name is, the respective name is HR department. Okay, and its location is Delhi. That means these two people, that means John and Mayan, is in Delhi. Understand? So, and their department name is HR. Understand? So that's why they are given the department ID 10. So we can just relate these two tables. Is it clear? These two means employees are in Delhi and their department is in HR, but their position designation is different. John is manager and mine is clerk. Is that clear? So that is how we can relate these two tables, because there we have a common column department ID. That's why we could relate these two tables together. Understand? But 20, we can give here 20 and we can give the details of that particular department name and a location also. Is it clear? So that's how we can relate these tables. That is how we can maintain the referential integrity. So what is referential integrity? It is used to maintain the accuracy and consistency of data in a relationship. In base, data can be linked between two or more tables with the help of primary key and foreign key constraint. One more thing, in these two tables, we can say that this is the primary key. The employee ID is the primary key of employee table, and in department ID, department table, department ID is the primary key. But in both, since we have department ID in both the table, okay, so in one table it will be the primary key, and in the other one it will be the non-key attribute. Okay, this will be the primary key and this will be the non-key attribute in employee table, but it is, the field is the same. So we can say that this is the primary table. So how can you decide this is the primary table? We have two tables in which there is a common column, and the common column is the primary key of department table, isn't it? That is the primary key of department table. Primary key means what? It should be unique. The value should be always unique. Okay, and this is a non-key. This is none of the keys in this table. In this table, employee ID is the primary key. This is the primary key, and department ID is repeated. Okay, that means it's not unique. 10 is repeating. Okay, 20 can be repeated. Okay, so this is not a unique value, so it is not a primary key. So this will be the foreign key in this table. Are you clear? So that is what primary key, and the same field in another table is the foreign key. Okay, so the referential integrity is maintaining through the primary key in one table, and the same field will be the foreign key in another table. Is it clear? So just look at once again. So the department ID is the primary key in this table, and it is also existing in another table, employee, but it is repeating, isn't it? Sometimes it may repeat. So we can't say that it is a unique value or a primary key. We cannot select it as a primary key. If you select a field as a primary key, it should not repeat. Okay, the value given in the field should not repeat. So employee ID won't be repeating. So we are selecting employee ID as the primary key in this table. So what we can say, this is the primary key. Department ID in department is the primary key, and department ID in employee is the foreign key. So the referential integrity is maintaining in a database through the primary key and foreign key. That's how we can say that. Understand? So in base, data can be linked between two or more tables with the help of primary key and foreign key constraint. That's all. Referential integrity helps to avoid, you can avoid, you need not learn this also, but you just go through this. How we can just avoid how we can just make referential integrity can help the tables database by avoiding adding records to a related table if there is no associated record available in the primary key table. That means if we have any value in the primary table, then only we can able to enter the secondary table value. So once again, you need not learn this part, but I've just marked it as important. So just go through this. Referential integrity helps. What is advantage of referential integrity? It will avoid adding records to a related table. Okay, so you can just do that much. Then changing values in a primary if any dependent record are present in the associated table. Okay, so it will avoid changing values in a primary if any dependent records are present in associated tables. Deleting records from a primary key table if there are any matching record related records available in associated tables. You may not understand this, so just leave it, no need to learn it. So creating and editing relationships between the tables. How can we create relationships between two tables? Okay, we already have a relationship between the tables in our employee and department. So what's a relationship? A relationship refers to an association or connection between two or more tables. Okay, so relationships between tables helps. What are the advantages of relationship between two tables? It saves time as there is no need to enter the same data in separate tables. Okay, so that's what they say. So we have two tables already. We have two tables which is maintaining the referential integrity. So in the second table, you need not again enter the department name, location, etc., etc. Or in this table, we need not enter the employee ID, employee name, everything, isn't it? Only one column is common. That's enough. But the other columns are different, but we can link these two tables. Is it clear? That's all. Save time as there is no need to enter the same data in separate tables. And second one, it helps to reduce the data entry errors. So it will reduce the data entry errors. We cannot enter the duplicate data again and again. Then summarize data from related tables. If you want to display all the data from both the tables, it is possible. I will show you at last. You can create a relationship between any two tables by selecting relationships options from the tools menu. Okay, that is also we are going to see. Add the tables in amongst which you want to create the relationship. Select the tables and click on add button. So how can you do that? Tools. We have to go to the tools option and select the relationship. So I already entered these two tables. I already did something before. Okay, so we have these two tables, and in these two tables we have primary key. Both table we have primary key. Okay, so what next? And we already added like this. Okay, so next, if we want to do it again, I can just remove these two from the delete. Okay, I'm deleting this and we are going to start again. Okay, so tools from the going to start over again. Go to tools, relationship, and we have to enter each table one by one. Okay, employee add, then department add. We have got these two again. Okay, then close this. Then what next? Again we got like this. There are three types of relationships. Which are the three types of relationships which we can create in tables? One to one, you have to learn this. One to many or many to one or many to many. Okay, so there are two ways to create the relationships between the tables. First method we are going to see. So click on insert option and select a new relation option in the relation. So we already added these two tables using the tools relation. Then what next? Again we have to go to the insert and new relation. We have to establish a new relation. Okay, then what next? Again select the options as required. Then here we are going to just select this update cascade and delete cascade, And how can you establish the relation? So one-to-one relationship, we already learned there are three types of relationships. We can able to create one-to-one, one-to-many, and one-to-many relationship, or many-to-many and many-to-many relationship. Is that clear? These are the three types. So how can you do the first one, one-to-one relationship? In this relationship, both the tables must have primary key columns. We have already primary key in both the tables. Example, in the given table, employee and department, employee ID in employee table and department ID in department table are the primary keys. So what can we do? So here, one-to-many relationship. Okay, so here one-to-one relationship. That's what one-to-one relationship. And one-to-many relationship. In this relationship, one of the table must have primary key column. Any one of the table must have the primary key column. It signifies that one column of primary key table is associated with all the columns of associated tables. We just learned what is that. That's all. Okay, in this relationship, which relationship, one-to-many or many-to-one relationship, any one of the table must have primary key column. That's all. So like this. So it doesn't have a primary key. Here employee ID is the primary key. And many-to-many relationship, in this relationship, no table has the primary key column. Okay, it signifies that all the columns of primary key table are associated with all the columns of associated table. Okay, so we can associate all the columns in this one with all the columns in this one. Okay, now how can you establish it? I will show you how to do that. So here we have to remove no action. We are going to see update cascade and delete cascade. And in this table we have department ID, isn't it? Department ID is the primary key. Let us see, we can do that. Employment ID. If you click on OK, integrity constraint violation, no parent 10 table department in statement. So because we have no, see in this table we have 10 and 20, isn't it? In employee we have department ID 10 and 20, but in department we don't have department ID 10 or 20. So that is there is a rule in primary table, which is the primary table here, department 10 and 20 are there. That must be here also in the employee table. Okay, in employee we have 10 and 20, but that must be present in the primary table. But we don't have 20 in department, we have 10 in department. Okay, so that's why we got that error. So we can establish this in department ID, and in employee we can have department ID, and in employee department ID. So here department ID, integrity constraint, no parent 20 table. So because we don't have all the values which we have in this table, that's why this error comes. Okay, department ID, sorry, in this department we have department ID, in employee we have employee, where is that one? Employee ID deleted. In employee we should have employee ID. That accidentally deleted, that's why. Okay, we must have that field. Okay, that's why. Okay, so when you give this and click on OK button, the relationship will be there. Let us see that. Department ID, employee ID, department ID. Insert new relation. In department we have department ID. Now it came, employee ID. So we have to enter that one, that's why. Otherwise department ID, then also there isn't some integrity issue is there, that's why it happens. So what we can do, we can just remove this issue by here we have 10 and 20. So what we are supposed to do? Here also we have to enter 20, then HR, then what, sales. We can enter another field, sales, and that department is in Mumbai. Okay, save it. Okay, now once again we can do the same. Go to tools, relationships. Okay, involved, then insert a new relation. Let us see once again, try this. Department ID, constraint, no, parent 10, table in statement. Okay, but insert a new relation, then in department ID, and in employee department ID. Now their relation. Okay, one to many relation has been established. Here when we give the other way, in both we have department ID, we are related with this department ID with this department ID, that already established. Okay, in both cases we have primary key also. Okay, so this is a relationship be built between this employee and the department. This is how we can see the relationship one to many. So for one to many relationship, what we need to have primary key. Okay, sorry, one to one, that is one to one relationship, we must have primary key in both the tables. In one to many relationship, any one table should have a primary key, and in many to many, both the tables need not have the primary key. That's it. Now how can you remove that relationship? If you want to remove the relationship, simply click on that particular option, that line, and click on delete. So that relationship has been broken. That's it. Okay, that's all. Now you have to perform these activities. I will give you as an assignment, and some more questions will be there. Okay, when you do the assignments, you need not go through this. You will be getting the same thing in your assignment also. But activities you have to do from this PDF format itself. Okay, perform the following, because I am not giving you the activities now. I can't give you because I am not sure whether you will do it or not. But when you come to school, you must certainly do it in your system. Otherwise, if you submit the assessment or assignment, I will take that as the practical mark. That's it. That's why I asked you to submit all the assignments on time. Okay, so today's class is over, and next day we will see what is how to retrieve data using a query. So we already see what is a query already. So what is a query, isn't it? And more details, more queries we can see. Okay, better you learn how to give the queries using the design window. Okay, that's all. So bye then.